Welcome to Alternative. My name's William, and I am sitting down for my first video of 2025 to talk about some of the albums I've been listening to this year. We're going all the way back to January. I got 24 albums and EPs from the month that I want to share some brief thoughts on. We'll see if I can get them all packed into this one video in a reasonable amount of time. If not, I'll make it 2 parts. Nice to be sitting down again. I have been off of it with reviewing albums. As a guy whose biggest passion is music and who wants to share it with people who are interested to discover new music, it's a battle. I tell myself, hey, William, if you want to find a community out there of like-minded music listeners, you gotta put in the work, you gotta make these videos, you gotta share your thoughts on the music you're listening to. Let people know what you're listening to. Each month on my Instagram and TikTok, I share a top 10 songs of the month, which I love putting together. Can't share it on YouTube because it gets blocked immediately. And that's fun, but it is hard to find those people to really engage with that content and really digest those songs and really take my opinion to heart. You know, the goal is to find people who will honestly take in my music recommendations. And when I share a top 10 songs of the month, they'll see that list and think, yo, this is William approved, Alternative approved, and I'm gonna check out these songs, but I don't get any interaction on those videos. For all I know, nobody is listening to the songs I share as my top 10 each month, and they're the songs that really mean the most to me each month, and it really is a big deal for me, so I tell myself, hey, I would love to find people who can find something in those songs the way I do. And to do that, I've got to start sharing more on YouTube and hopefully find more of you through here. So here I am, finally getting to it, finally jumping on the albums I've been listening to this year and ready to share my thoughts. Again, going all the way back to January with these ones. Let's get into it. First off, we have a band called Quiet Houses, their Carried Away EP. It's my second EP with this Manchester-based soft indie pop duo. Their song Hot and Clumsy from a couple of years back blew me away. Their vocalist Hannah Elliott has a very soft and sweet delivery, and their songs for the most part are pretty soft, kind of slow, but their guitarist Jamie Stewart really brings in this intricate guitar work that is a big defining part of their sound. This 5-song EP is super easy listening, very nice stuff, but it's the opening single, What My Heart Is For. That's the big punch of the EP here. That's the one that I'd recommend the most. Next up, an artist from my home city of Vancouver, BC. His name is Wafy, his debut EP, Careless Times. Another easy listening 5-song EP, pretty chill songs. I describe it as somewhat sad indie music, though it's not the most depressing stuff you've ever heard. The closer, though, This World Makes Me Cry, is a real bummer. That's hard for me to really sink into the mood of, though I find some listeners in the right setting could really pull some feeling out of that one. It's the single, the mid EP track Wasted, that's the big standout for me. It was the song that brought him onto my radar last year, and that song really hits the spot. Very, very strong song, and can't recommend it enough. And we got another EP from a California alt-rock band called Tarnish, the View From My Window EP. Just 4 songs on this EP. This is some heavy-handed alt-rock. These songs have bite. And they're fun, they're good. If you're into that heavier alt-rock sound, I think this band is a band that you can depend on. The single Promise I Won't Call, that's the big takeaway from this group of 4. Catchy, heavy, hard-hitting. It's the one that leaves the biggest mark. Also, the closer, Things Were Okay. I believe that was another single. You'll see by the stream numbers, those are the 2 that are doing the best, and rightfully so. Those are the bigger standouts for sure. All right, I decided to check out Franz Ferdinand for the first time in years. It's their 6th album, The Human Fear. Franz Ferdinand, the Scottish indie rock band known mostly for their 2004 single, I believe, Take Me Out. That was on my Big Shiny Tunes album back in the day. And yeah, it's a good, catchy song, but back then I remember when it came to a lot of the big hits I found on Big Shiny Tunes, Take Me Out was on the side of songs that was definitely less up my alley, but still an undeniably infectious song, and I was a fan of some of their other singles back then as well. Never really did stick around with the band, though. Wasn't too interested in checking them out, but I see they got this new album. I thought I'd dive on board. And yeah, they're not my type of music. They've got their charm for sure, but I find the vocals... bravado is the word that comes to mind. I don't know, his delivery just has this... energy that doesn't quite land with me. Some catchy stuff, though. Admirable work here. Build It Up. I'd choose that as my favorite. That melody definitely sticks with me more than the rest. Another band that's been at it for quite some time, though I doubt many Franz Ferdinand fans are listening to these guys. Stick to Your Guns. Their album Keep Planting Flowers. It's their 8th album. California hardcore punk. I've been aware of these guys for most of their career. Never been the biggest fan. This is, I believe, their first album with Sharp Tone Records, and I decided I'd jump on board. I'm always a fan of a clean-looking artwork such as this one. And yeah, they pull off some catchy stuff. That's what I'm looking for. I like the heavy, but I need the catchy in these songs. They are heavy, and they have their hooks, but I'm finding it's just a bit more screamy than it is catchy. I would recommend them for Silverstein fans. There's definitely songs here that are bringing up a lot of similarities to Silverstein, and there is one that I find does leave a mark more than the rest. The title track, Keep Planting Flowers. You know, it's not a very clean sung song. I like my clean sung hooks, but the heart in this one and the emotion just really comes through. But otherwise, stick to your guns. I don't think I'll be racing back to listen to them. Next up, we have a small indie artist out of San Diego. His name is Jetty, and this is his Fault Lines EP, his second EP. I came across Jetty because he is the son of Tim Foreman, who is the bassist for my all-time favorite band, Switchfoot. And yeah, it's been very cool to see the son of Tim Foreman doing his own thing here. His first EP that I caught him with just a year or two back was so good. 6 songs, all great. This new EP, not hitting me the same. He's got his charm, he's got his catch. It's these West Coast chill indie vibes. You get more of an upbeat surf rock energy on California. Very catchy, and these songs are well done. There's a lot of promise from Jetty, but I am disappointed to see that this feels like a bit of a drop-off from his EP from 2 years ago. Now, I got a big recommendation for the pop-punk fans with this one. The band Dear Seattle with their album Toy. This is some wonderful Australian pop-punk. One of the most exciting emerging names in the scene for me at this point. You can really feel that Aussie accent in their vocalist, and it holds a lot of their character. Really helps these guys stand out amongst a lot of these other Aussie bands that I'm hearing. Or maybe it's just the hook power of these songs. We've got 12 songs on this EP, not including the 13th cover song on the album, and 11 of them right up until the closer, which doesn't really leave much of a mark on me, but the other 11 songs all have something to say. Nothing's Stopping Me Now, the opener, that's the one that introduced me to them a ways back as a single. Very uplifting, just such a great track. Sungazer made it onto my top 100 last year, another massively powerful song, better than Nothing's Stopping Me Now. And upon diving into the album, Promise has stood out as another huge takeaway. It's not a single. I believe it's just a deep cut on the album, and it just really shows how much spark they can bring into some of their songs. These guys have got something special to them, and I'm excited to keep an eye on them, and I hope others can jump on board as well. All right, for my pop rock fans, The Maine is back with an album you have got to hear. It's a B-side album from the Arizona pop rock band. It's called Died, 2008 to 2023, 9 songs, 1 song for each of their albums over their career. Maine has been one of the most consistent bands in the scene, and this B-side album is just a wonderful showing of their skill. Like, these are the songs that didn't make the albums. They're all great. Like, this is essential listening for fans of the Maine. Not an album to be missed just because it's a bunch of B-sides. And it hits its peak too in the back-to-back-to-back stretch of I Can't Help Myself, 8 Fingers Crossed, and Colored in Blue. Those songs all coming from their albums between 2017 and 2021. None of those 3 albums were flawless to me. I've said the Maine has been very consistent, but those albums have definitely left me wanting a bit more. While they've had their hits, each one of them has had songs that have stuck with me. They definitely had their misses, in my opinion. But these 3 B-sides, the songs that they didn't make the albums, are top-notch. Top-notch from the Maine. And I'm just thrilled that they could deliver this B-side album and just hit me so good. So bravo to the Maine. Okay, next up we have Milk and Bone, a Canadian electropop duo out of Montreal. Their EP called Baby Dreamer. We got 5 songs here. Very smooth, sultry is a word that comes to mind. Nice, easy pace, but a good pop production, good synths, and nice textures to grab onto here. And yeah, this is some slick stuff. These songs are easy to sink into. They're not really punching me in the gut here, but these songs are still just quite easy to enjoy. Closer for Gone is the one that leaves the biggest mark on me. Next up, we have Geowulf with The Child. This is the project of Australian artist Star Kendrick. This lady crafts some really sweet melodies. She had a song called Love Struck from 2023 that made my top 100 of the year. Nothing quite as epic as that song on this album, but these songs definitely keep me impressed. She's got this light, sweet voice, kind of high-pitched, might not be up everyone's alley, but it does add to that sweetness quality within her music. And overall, just some really, really nice hooks here, man. These songs are quite easy to enjoy. Next up, we have Ontario emo MySpace artist Say We Can Fly with Not a Home EP. This is very nothing, nowhere type of music. It's like bedroom emo music is how I define this stuff. It gets pretty heavy here. This guy, he has his background in an acoustic sound, but this EP is showing off not an acoustic sound. These songs keep it pretty short as well. It's a very digestible listen. It's the opening title track, Not a Home, that leaves the biggest mark. That chorus really just takes off in a way. But the rest are all worth listening to. If you're into that angsty, emo, nothing, nowhere type of sound, this EP delivers. I've decided I will split this up into 2 parts. I got one more album in this first section to talk about. Slowly, Australian alt-rock band, Slowly, their new album, Forgiving Spree. Now, my first album with them was in 2022, Daisy Chain. It went down as my #1 album of the year. They were a massive find for me back then. Just a really crisp alt-rock sound. Vocals really popped. The musicianship all around from the band, super tight. The production just had a way of really packing a punch. And these songs throughout the album, man, they hit me so good. And I was just so impressed. Here they are back a few years later. And this album, it's only 9 songs. I remember on their Instagram, they said 9 songs, all killer, no filler. And yeah, you could say that, sure. No filler. These guys are still sounding great, but they are not leaving the same mark on me as they did in 2022. They're still packing a punch, though. Give Me the Wrench, the lead single, is very much worth listening to. The whole album really is worth going through, but there's songs here that I will not be coming back to all time. Hurricane, I'd say, is about the cheesiest song here. That's the one I'm really like, hard to see much of the appeal in that. Born Free, the closer as well, is super slow. Their lead singer just last year did a solo album full of really slow solo kind of stuff. And I'm like, why are you putting this on your band's album a year later when I feel like it could have fit in on your solo? Meltdown Masquerade is a standout. Definitely worth listening to that one. That has a lot of groove to it. Really fun song. And the opener, Forgiving Spree, the title track, is another pretty strong takeaway as well. They're just kind of falling into that boat of following up my favorite album of the year, and the follow-up here, it's easy for me to pick at, I guess, not being as captivating as their last. But still, when it comes to alternative rock, Slowly is a band that you should definitely have on your radar. All right, I'll wrap it up there for now. Got 12 more albums from January I want to briefly talk about. If you've sat through this, stoked to have you here. Thank you for checking this out. Would love to hear any thoughts you have in the comments, and hope to see you again next time.